Good morning, monkeys. Welcome to another installation of our RCT CLASSIC series for iPad. And in today's episode, we are going to revisit our pirate themed area. This is the second video. I'm not sure. I actually recorded so many videos in the past couple days that I don't know where exactly we are. I know this is video number 10. So what we're going to do in this video here, we're going to build out our hotel that we have here that goes up the mountain we created along the launch for the, what I want to call Kraken coaster. I'm not sure if it's going to be Kraken. I'm thinking some sort of squid-like entity or whatever the case may be. So yeah, we're going to figure that out. I think I'll have it named hopefully by the next video. But yeah, so as we're building this out here, I'm creating a bit of a plaza. As we come through, we have our main weenie, which is the roller coaster. We walk under the loop there, and we walk into this plaza area. Now this plaza area is gonna act as the initial opening area for our hotel guests or anyone actually walking through the park itself. And what I like to do here whenever I build any sort of hotel, quote-unquote, experience, is I like to put all of our main facilities in there. This way it does draw some traffic over there so it doesn't look so sparse. And what we're going to do is build up different levels all the way up this mountain and have it look very, almost like the mountainside hotels you would see in the Swiss Alps, for instance, just to give you an idea. And this is the more predominant side. It's going to have the larger volume of hotel buildings, whereas the other side is going to have less. It's still going to be very heavy on the other side, don't get me wrong. It definitely does. But yeah, so we're building up these different layers here. And what I like to do is I like to create what the footprint's going to look like with a different height adjustment along the mountainside. So it gives me an idea of where I'm going to be putting these buildings and how I'm going to create their foundations. So back to the plaza. Again, this is going to be the main food outlet, souvenir area. I want it to feel very fresh and new, fresh and new. And like when you walk into this area, you're walking into, like we said, the center of this city that we're creating, this pirate city on this island that we have here. So we're going to put in all of our food installations and our souvenir stalls now. So this way, if we were utilizing money, we would be building revenue as we're building out this hotel, so we don't end up broke, right? We want to continue to bring in money, right? So one thing I want you to be mindful of as we're building this out, you're going to see there's a lot of theming that's going into this area. There's a lot of variety happening and a lot going on. So I want you to pay close attention to the layers that I put in. I start with my foundations. So I've got the foundation of the building, I've got the main pathway, I've got the main walkways set in. From there, what I do is I go and I put in the souvenir stalls or any of the food outlets that we have. After that, I then go in with the benches and with any other additives we want to put on the pathways, and then I start to build the buildings. And what I do is I work with my furthest most exterior building and I work my way in towards the plaza. And the reason why I do this is because I want to make sure I have a really good 360-degree view of each section of the building that I'm creating. And again, due to the fact that this is a building that's built on different levels with different foundation levels, what I want to do is I wanted to create different levels within each building. So you're going to see that they don't all look alike. There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of balconies and rooftops and different levels that your guests are going to walk through or be able to walk through. And think about being in a hotel, especially one on a cliffside. You want to make sure that, my room's got this view or my room's got that view and so on and so forth. So here I believe, we're building a little balcony here, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. Almost like a walkway that hovers over. And again, it gives us a little bit of variety and kind of what we're creating for our guests in the park that are staying in our hotel. Now what we want to make sure here also, as I'm putting these in, is as I'm building, again, as I'm building out these buildings, I'm building the foliage and the different type of greenery that we want to have around this building as we're building out the building, so I get a good balance. And again, it's all about, you know, kind of feeling it out. You know, you're going to ask yourself, well, how do you do this, or what, you know, what made you decide to do that, or whatever the case may be. It really just goes based on feeling and kind of what I think works best to create, you know, something that doesn't look too cluttered. It's got good balance to it. I mean, I could just throw a bunch of wall pieces and roof pieces and foliage all in here and trees in here, and then you're just like, oh wow, that's just a lot of stuff, right? So we don't want it to feel that way. Now I love what I do here. I build out another tower, and then as I come in, now this is going to be, you know, if you think about it from a building perspective, right? This is the entryway, one of the entryways into the building that we're going to have here. And you're going to see later on, because we're going to need to build another one of my underground paths to keep our laggers from appearing. They're going to appear in this walkway, right? It's going to go right through that center door. So it's going to look like these people, our guests, are entering the building, which is going to be really cool. So now I do a lot of balconies here as well. Again, the reason why I did that is because, you know, again, you're staying in this hotel, you're staying in one of these more luxury rooms. You want that room to be, you know, with a balcony or have like an eating area or whatever the case may be. You know, and some of these, that could be, you know, that larger balcony there, that could be a little, you know, restaurant we have at the top, or just a large balcony for you to go out and sit on, you know, in the gorgeous weather or whatever the case may be. Now, as we get lower down, you're going to see I have this opening around the walkway here that I go and I fill in with a building. And again, this is just a random building. It can be anything, you know. It could be a souvenir area. It could be, you know, your convenient, quote unquote, convenience store with your food and quick midnight snacks and like sunscreen and stuff like that. You know, think about that for a moment. What's going to happen there, you know? All right, see, now as we're building out that foliage there, I noticed that, oh my God, I forgot to place handymen, and threw those down really quickly just to make sure that we don't end up in a scenario where our benches and our lampposts and garbage pails are getting broken because our guests see that the walkway is messy. And if the walkway is messy and it's not maintained, they feel it necessary to break and destroy the park. Why that's a thing, I don't know. I've never seen anybody, for the life of me, break something like that in a theme park, but, you know, such is life in Roller Coaster Tycoon, I guess. Now this balcony, again, being one of those buildings, you know, maybe this is a chateau as well, or it could be a restaurant, and that little balcony is area where you sit out and you overlook the area on this side. And there's going to be some future endeavors we're going to be putting on the side of this mountain as well. That's going to really help drive, you know, the feel and the vibe of the whole pirate-themed area. Now here we are building out our stalls, our shopping stalls, and you figure, you know, I like to do them too deep because obviously you're going to need stock area, you're going to need a kitchen area for these particular stalls. So you would walk up, you'd go to the stall, but behind that, in that second square box, that would be where they cook the food and whatnot. So it's not just a souvenir stall or stand, or food stall or stand, excuse me. That could be even a restaurant again with a balcony up top. And I like the variety of rooftops that the canvas gives you versus the actual rooftop there. You know, when I get stuck, it's funny, whenever I'm building this stuff out and I talk about feeling and vibe, kind of the direction I'm bringing it, you know, I get stuck. I get stuck on, you know, one kind of theme or one kind of look, you know, and I feel like there could have been a little bit more variety in this area. And that's something to think about in the future when I'm building out other areas, not getting stuck on one specific aesthetic. Even though it does create uniformity, I don't think it'd be very realistic to have every single building look exactly the same in a theme park. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I just had breakfast. I love the idea with the mesh there at the front of that building too. That was super fun. And then again, just some balconies on either side. This could be, again, a restaurant with some balconies on the outside. I loved the variety that it creates. All right, so now that we've built out that entryway there to that side of the hotel, I built out this little eatery area here, and I thought this was fun too. Again, this is going to be a potential lagger location as well. So having it too deep, you're going to see we're going to be able to go underground and create one of our underground walkways. It's going to be a huge connection of underground walkways once this park does get completed, and you're going to be like, wow, that's crazy. Sorry, I had a bit of a glitch there in my iPad. I don't know, for some reason, when I was filming this set of videos, it kept crashing the game. I don't understand why. It's never done that before. It only did it not yesterday, 2 or 3 days ago while I was building this out, and that was it. You know, it hasn't happened since, which I thought was super odd. Now I love this part here. Now if this was a walk-in restaurant, you know, having this balcony up top where you can sit outside, you're right next to the loop, you're right, you know, overlooking the queue there for the coaster itself, for Kraken, you know, and throwing over a couple of those palm trees there. Really a good vibe and feeling. And I think my intention here, and I just realized that I don't think I have a border wall around the other side of that footer for the coaster loop, so I'm going to have to go back and review that. All right, now as we're building out this side, it was a little bit more difficult with the coaster there. Now, if I wanted to, I could have turned off rides, and I would have been able to see right through the track there. I didn't really feel it was fully necessary, but I could have if I needed to. And that's a simple option in your, when you pause the game and you have the options pop up, that's one of the possibilities. You can make rides disappear. Even though they don't get deleted or they don't go away, they're just see-through. So you can build behind them and underneath them and around them. And here I am putting in my foundations and then the first floor of each one of that side of the building. Now, for this portion here, I definitely wanted to create, you know, symmetry. I didn't want to hide the mountain overall, but I wanted it to feel like, you know, this is one massive complex. So I created a couple walkways that go across. I have one area where the coaster goes through. The walkway, I think it was here, I built out, yeah, it's definitely there. It's there, I built out a tower where the coaster goes through. And I do that again over the block break there at that mid-course brake ride. And the whole premise behind this is just to give, you know, a little bit higher excitement rating for that coaster. You know, give Kraken some more, you know, pizzazz. And again, with this type of building, you want it to be all about layers, all right? So we've got the different layers of roofs happening there. And then we've got the waterfall right behind it. Like, how awesome does that look? You know, having the waterfall coming out of the side of this rock formation that we've got this building built, or this giant hotel built upon. You know, really cool idea. Gosh. You know, I think what I'll do is, you know, because we will have another hotel, I'm going to wind up building out at a later portion as we get further into the game, you know, an entire area that's dedicated to hotels and there's going to be a parking lot. We're going to do a pool. We're going to do, you know, an area to drive in through. We're going to, I mean, it's going to be really cool. You're going to see what we're going to do in a little bit. Oh, no, a little bit. We're video 10 now, episode 10, and you know that's probably going to be about episode 30 or 40. I'm going to say, to be honest with you, but we'll see what happens as we build out. Here goes that tunnel we go through there, just around the mid-course brake run. And imagine being on that balcony as that coaster is zooming right past you. Like, how awesome would that be, right? Now here I was debating, I didn't know if I wanted to build it all the way up and have it like, you know, go around the rest of the mid-course brake run. What I wound up doing is just having it being a lower rooftop with the balcony again. Oh, I see a floating wall. Got to go back and look at that. But yeah, so that's our hotel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Coaster Monkey Studios, also on Twitter and Reddit. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode, and catch you guys on the next one where we build out a really cool water ride. Check you later.